The city forgot its own reflection. Windows turned to sand. Street signs speak in bent vows, and every clock is missing hand. I walk the blueprint of a heartbeat through rebar, rain and wire. Static drips from broken speakers like a prayer that lost its choir. I strike a match in the rubble, and the darkness flinches first. A tiny sun with shaking fingers, learning how to not reverse. First lamp in the ruins, hold steady, hold my name. First lamp in the ruins, teach my shadow how to stay. If the sky won't open for us, we'll open it with flame. First lamp in the ruins, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Sirens sleep with one eye open, somewhere underneath the street. The air tastes like old batteries and unfinished sentences to repeat. I carry water in my pockets for the fires I can't see. I carry every almost moment like a key that doesn't fit me. I hear a broadcast in the distance, a voice made out of dust. It says please keep moving forward, as if forward is enough. I strike a match in the rubble, and the dark rewrites its rules. A small obedient halo over shattered schoolyard pools. First lamp in the ruins, hold steady, hold my name. First lamp in the ruins, teach my shadow how to stay. If the sky won't open for us, we'll open it with flame. First lamp in the ruins, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Neon glows somewhere concrete, spell out roads that don't exist. I follow light like it's a rumor, I can finally coexist. Hands are cold but mind is burning. I count breaks like bolts and beams. Every step a quiet purchase, paid in fear, redeemed in dreams. I don't need a perfect ending, I need one honest spark. Something small that says keep building, something loud inside the dark. First lamp in the ruins, hold steady, hold my name. First lamp in the ruins, teach my shadow how to stay. If the sky won't open for us, we'll open it with flame. First lamp in the ruins, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Rain comes down like film grain, softening the jagged view. I see my past in broken mirrors, and it looks more human too. There's a train with no destination, still cutting through the night. Its windows glow like moving lanterns, teaching metal how to light. I press my palm against the silence, feel it humming low and warm, like a generator in my chest, starting up without a storm. I strike a match in the rubble, and the dark begins to learn how to hold a fragile answer without turning it to hurt. First lamp in the ruins, hold steady, hold my name. First lamp in the ruins, teach my shadow how to stay. If the sky won't open for us, we'll open it with flame. First lamp in the ruins, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And if they ask how we survive this, tell them we refuse to sink. Tell them we made light from nowhere, out of rust and time and ink. Tell them hope is not a headline, not a slogan, not a test. Hope is wiring in the rain. Hope is breathing through a vent. I've seen break the light open, written on a scorched wall. So I answer with my own hands. I don't wait for heaven's call. I strike a match in the rubble, and the night steps back again. Not because it fears my fire, but because it sees my plan. First lamp in the ruins, hold steady, hold my name. First lamp in the ruins, teach my shadow how to stay. If the sky won't open for us, we'll open it with flame. First lamp in the ruins, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. First lamp in the ruins, I set the future on the sill. First lamp in the ruins, watch me learn to build and feel. If the dawn is running late, I'll meet it halfway still. First lamp in the ruins, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Orange cones like tiny sunsets, lining up my old routines. Every shortcut I depended on is fenced off in silver beams. A map that used to love me back now stutters reroute sighs. I drive through streets I never learned, under half-finished skies. There's a crane above my memories, swinging shadows slow and wide, and the sound of metal breathing makes the past feel overapplied. So I take the detour, I take it like a vow. If the road is under construction, then I'm under construction. Detour, detour, under construction. I'm not lost, I'm being rebuilt. Detour, detour, under construction. I'm not late, I'm learning still. If you see me taking longer, don't call it weakness somehow. If the road is under construction, and I'm under construction now. A radio in the glove box keeps a low electric hum, like a city trying to remember where its singing used to come from. A voice cuts through the static, half warning, half relief. Expect a laser that says softly like it's speaking to my grief. I used to hate the waiting, like waiting meant I failed. But concrete needs its quiet time to hold what it's been told. So I take the detour, I take it like a vow. If the road is under construction, then I'm under construction now. Detour, detour, under construction. I'm not lost, I'm being rebuilt. Detour, detour, under construction. I'm not late, I'm learning still. If you see me taking longer, don't call it weakness somehow. If the road is under construction, Reconstruction now. Night drops down, worksite halo, floodlights turning rain to glass. Puddles carry broken neon like the future's trying to pass. I stop at a red that isn't wired. No rhythm, just a pause in the silence. I can hear my heart setting new laws. Steel drums in the distance like a band with no crowd. And the wind reads every caution sign out loud, out loud. Do not enter, proceed with care. Laying in soon, expect repairs. Funny how the warning sound kinder in the dark. When you finally stop pretending, you don't need a slower start. Detour, detour. Under construction. I'm not lost, I'm being rebuilt. Detour, detour. Under construction. I'm not late, I'm learning still. If you see me taking long, don't call it weakness somehow. 'Cause the road is under construction now. I'm under construction now. One day these cars will disappear. These fences will unspool. The asphalt will look seamless. And no one will see the bruise. But I will feel the difference in how my breathing lands, in how I hold my own neck with both of my hands. So when the signs keep shouting and the skyline won't sit still, I'll say it like a mantra with the calm I had to build. Detour, detour, under construction. I'm not lost, I'm being rebuilt. Detour, detour, under construction. I'm not late, I'm learning still. If you see me take it longer, they'll call it weakness somehow. If the road is under construction, then I'm under construction now. Under construction now. I'm not lost, I'm being rebuilt. Under construction now. Your name horizon fragments like a lighthouse with a stutter. I press my ear to the city and hear the cables slowly mutter. Bars drop like dying fireflies in the corners of my screen. I keep refreshing the silence like silence might turn green. The skyline's full of scaffolds, the air tastes like salt and red. Every street light is a question, every answer feels delayed. But I learned a different language when the world went out of tune. I learned to read your breathing in the static of my room. Love through no signal, I still find you somehow. Love through no signal, I don't need perfect now. If the lines are cut and burning, I will carry the vow. Love through no signal, I still find you somehow. I used to beg for clarity, for clean and stable line. Now I build my own connection out of grit and over time. I've got blueprints in my heartbeat, I've got nails under my skin. I got a voice that shakes at first, then comes roaring in. They said wait for better weather, weather. Storms are something you can schedule, but I've seen flowers in the rubble and I've watched the brave stay gentle. So if the tower keeps collapsing, if the satellites fall down, I'll be the broadcast in your chest. I'll be the ground. Love through no signal, I still find you somehow. Love through no signal, I don't need perfect now. If the lines are cut and lit and burning, I will carry the vow. Love through no signal, I still find you somehow. I'm driving past the worksite halo, floodlights turning fog to gold. A train goes by with darkened windows, but its engine stays bold. I think that's what we are becoming. Not a promise made of air, a moving thing with heavy wheels that learns to get somewhere. I stop at red lights with no power. I stop and listen to my pulse. In the quiet I can feel it, the future taking shape in gulps. I write your name in condensation on the inside of the glass, then wipe it clean and write it again until it finally lasts. Love through no signal, I still find you somehow. Love through no signal, I don't need perfect now. If the lines are cut and burning, I will carry the vow. Love through no signal, I still find you somehow. Hear me, even if you can't hear me, I'll send it in a different way. I'll send it in the way I show up, I'll send it in the way I stay. No signal, no permission, no green light, no guarantee. Just hands that keep building bridges over the parts that used to bleed. I've been the person who disappears when the screen goes dark, but I'm not leaving this time. I am learning how to mark a location on a broken map, with the heart that won't comply, with fear that shakes like winter glass and courage that replies. Love through no signal, I still find you somehow. Love through no signal, I don't need perfect now. If the lines are cut and burning, I will carry the vow. Love through no signal, I still find you somehow. I hear a siren far away, like a memory of a rule. I hear the city try to sing again through a rusted tool. The towers throw long shadows like fingers over the lane, but I got light in my throat now and I'm done being tame. So if your night is closing in and your hands forget their strength, borrow mine. I'm right here, I'm loud enough to reach. I'll shout across the dead zones, I'll shout across the doubt. I'll shout until the silence cracks and something bright gets out. Love through no signal, I still find you somehow. Love through no signal, I don't need perfect now. If the lines are cut and burning, I will carry the vow. Love through no signal, I still find you somehow. Shadows like fingers over the lane, but I got light in my throat now and I'm done being tame. So if your night is closing in and your hands forget their strength, borrow mine. I'm right here, I'm loud enough to reach. I'll shout across the dead zones, I'll shout across the doubt. I'll shout until the silence cracks and something bright gets out. Love through no signal, I still find you somehow. Love through no signal, I don't need perfect now. If the lines are cut and burning, I will carry the vow. Love through no signal, I still find you somehow. The wind comes in like a witness to a crack in the door, carrying a syllable of you I thought I couldn't afford. It circles the scaffolding, it climbs the half-built light. It drags my old defenses out into open night. I used to lock my memory, but have a careful grin. But the wind has no respect for what I'm holding in. It brings your name back like a song I can't your name back, and my quiet starts to burn. If the world won't keep the signal, I will keep the return. The wind brings your name back, and I let it. The street dust turns to glitter under floodlights on the rain. The city's wearing bandages, and still it feels the pain. A billboard flickers, stellar, spelling nothing, then your face. Not a picture, just the outline of the space you used to take. I walk past empty storefronts where our future used to sit, and every shuttered window is a mouth that won't admit. I'm not asking for a miracle, I'm not praying for a sign. I'm only asking not to break when your memory arrives. It brings your name back like a song I can't unlearn. It brings your name back, and my quiet starts to burn. If the world won't keep the signal, I will keep the return. The wind brings your name back, and I let it. I hear a train behind the river, low thunder in the skew, like something moving forward just because it's built to feel. I used to measure love by how clean the world could be. Now I measure it by how it keeps showing up in me. A caution sign is swaying like a preacher on a wire. It says proceed with patience, and my chest says proceed with fire. I've been the one who vanishes when the weather turns severe, but I'm staying in the open. I'm staying where you'd hear the wind brings your name back like a match against my fear. The wind brings your name back, and I don't disappear. If the towers keep collapsing, I will build a way near. The wind brings your name back, and I let it. I remember how you laughed, like you dared the dark to blink. How you made the worst days softer without softening your edge. I remember your hand steady when my hands forgot the plan, like you knew my panic language and still spoke to it as friend. Now my hands are learning too how to hold without control, how to brace the fragile truths and not turn it into stone. The wind brings your name back, and it doesn't ask permission. It brings your name back in 1,000 small decisions, in the way I don't look down, in the way I keep my position. The wind brings your name back like a siren made of gold. The wind brings your name back, and my lungs remember bold. As the world won't load the answer, I will answer on my own. The wind brings your name back, and I let it. I step into the word side halo, hard hat moon above, everything unfit is shining like an honest kind of love. I taste metal in the air and something sweeter underneath, like the city is learning, singing through its missing teeth. the generator somewhere starts. A low and steady growl, and I feel my voice respond like a rising restless vow. I don't need the past to vanish, I don't need the ache to quit. I just need my life to fit me when your name comes back in it. The wind brings your name back like a chorus on the edge. The wind brings your name back, and I step out from the ledge. If the lines are cut and burning, I will carry what we said. The wind brings your name back, and I let it. The wind brings your name back, and I let it. The wind brings your name back, and I let it. I can hear my heart on the drywall, like it's knocking out a code. 3 short hits, then a long one, then silence like a road. The city's wide to the weather, floodlights pinned to rain. Every puddle holds a heartbeat, every heartbeat holds a name. I used to fear the flat line, like stillness was averted. Now I know, though the quiet moment is where the engine learns its purpose. EKG rhythm, write me back to life. EKG rhythm, cut through all the noise. If the world is losing power, I'll be my own device. EKG rhythm, I choose, I choose, I choose. Yeah. I choose, I choose. The monitor in my memory flickers green thin, a line that learns to dance again after it's been pinned. I count the peaks like promises, I count the dips like truth. The body keeps a blueprint, even when the mind forgets the route. There's a siren in the distance, like an old rule on repeat, but I've got a louder metronome hammering in my chest. EKG rhythm, write me back to life. EKG rhythm, cut through all the noise. If the world is losing power, I'll be my own device. EKG rhythm, I choose, I choose, I choose. Oh, every breath is construction, every step is poured concrete. I don't need a flawless skyline, I need my post to meet my feet. I don't need the perfect signal, I don't need the cleanest line. I need a reason to keep moving when the night is out of time. I lay my palm on broken railing, cold metal on a stake, and feel my heart reply beneath it, like a drum that won't mistake. EKG rhythm, write me back to life. EKG rhythm, cut through all the noise. If the world is losing power, I'll be my own device. EKG rhythm, I choose, I choose, I choose. Ooh, rain hits like a soft percussion on the hard hat of my thoughts. Each drop a tiny rehearsal for the courage that I've bought. I drive past hospital windows, and the glow looks like a hymn, not a prayer for a miracle, stand. I'm learning how to stay when my fear tries to evacuate. I'm learning how to sing before the room decides my fate. EKG rhythm, write me back to life. EKG rhythm, cut through all the noise. If the world is losing power, I'll be my own device. EKG rhythm, I choose, I choose, I choose. Oh, hear it, the steady beat rebellion. Hear it, the stubborn little yes. I'm not a headline, not a warning. I'm a body doing its best. The line goes up, the line goes down, like waves against the shore. And every time it rises, I become a little more. The train roars through the river fog, no destination shown, but the engine keeps its argument in a language made of stone. That's how I'm moving now. Not because I'm sure, but because I'm built. Not because I never shattered, but because I learned to hold the tilt. EKG rhythm, write me back to life. EKG rhythm, cut through all the noise. If the world is losing power, I'll be my own device. EKG rhythm, I choose, I choose, I choose. Oh, if you can't reach me, still believe me. I'm not gone, I'm under repair. I'm soldering my broken choices into something I can wear. I'm tightening the bolts of morning. I'm unlearning how to hide. I'm letting grief be oxygen instead of just a tide. I know the past will try to call me from the gutters, from the glass, but I've got a stronger frequency than the shadows in the past. EKG rhythm, write me back to life. EKG rhythm, cut through all the noise. If the world is losing power, I'll be my own device. EKG rhythm, I choose, I choose, I choose. Ooh, I choose, I choose, I choose. Oh, I choose, I choose, I choose. When the warning lights start blinking and the sky turns paper thin, I feel the old panic rising like a tide I lived within. The city posted siren letters on the side of every street. See covers stay inside as if fear is that discreet. I used to run on empty bravado. I used to laugh to hide the shade, but I'm done performing calmness for the people I can't save. And you arrive like clean electricity, and our lives just short, and suddenly the chaos has a door. You're my shelter when the world gets sharp and fast. You're my shelter when the present bites the past. If the towers start collapsing, I won't vanish, I won't sever. You're my shelter, and I learn to stay, stay forever. The wind is throwing gravel they finally found a safer way. You're my shelter when the world gets sharp and fast. You're my shelter when the present bites the past. If the towers start collapsing, I won't vanish, I won't sever. You're my shelter, and I learned to stay forever. I drove through floodlit worksite halos, rain turning sparks to glass. A train kept pulling through the dark like it refused to crash. That's how you love me, steady pressure, steady hand. Not a miracle descending, but a floor where I can stand. I used to confuse intensity with something real, and now I know real is quiet, real is still. When my phone shows no service, when the map forgets the route, when my chest becomes a courtroom, and my fear takes the stand to shout. You don't argue with the terror, you don't try to win a war. You just open your voice like a window, and I remember what it's for. You're my shelter when the world gets sharp and fast. You're my shelter when the present bites the past. If the towers start collapsing, I won't vanish, I won't sever. You're my shelter, and I learned to stay forever. And if you're shaking too, I'll be the beam behind your spine. I'll be the steady in your breathing when your thoughts won't stay in line. We don't need perfect weather, we don't need a clean skyline. We just need a place to gather and a reason to keep trying. So come closer, let the sirens burn out. Let the night learn what we're about. You're my shelter when the world gets sharp and fast. You're my shelter when the present bites the past. If the towers start collapsing, I won't vanish, I won't sever. You're my shelter, and I learned to stay forever. You're my shelter, not a cage, not a ceiling. You're my shelter where my voice starts healing. If the ground is turning sideways, I will plant my feet. I'll never leave the place you made for me. I'll stay, I'll stay, I'll stay forever. I'll stay forever. I'll stay forever. I hear the generator humming underneath the city's fear, and for the first time in a long time, I believe I can be here. You're my shelter when the world gets sharp and fast. You're my shelter when the present bites the past. If the towers start collapsing, I won't vanish, I won't sever. You're my shelter, and I learned to stay forever. Stay forever. I'm not running, stay forever. I'm not numb, stay forever. I'm still building, you're my shelter, and I've come undone. Then come undone, then come undone into something strong enough to love. You're my shelter, you're my shelter, you're my shelter. The horizon looks like tempered glass, a clean line with a hidden crack. It holds the sunrise at a distance, like it's afraid to let it back. I stand on a bridge of scaffolding, watching water take its time. Every ripple is a sentence, every silence is a sign. The city behind me is rebuilding, a choir made of drills and steel. The city ahead is on the outline, but the outline feels real. Glass horizon, don't shatter yet. Glass horizon, I'm not done with it. If the light is waiting on me, I will meet it halfway. Set my hands on the glass horizon and call it mine. Call it mine. Call it mine. I used to think the future was a door I had to force. Now I think it's a window that opens when I choose my voice. I see my reflection in the river, broken up and made again, like a heart that learns forgiveness, not as pardon but as plan. A train crosses far, it sounds a thin silver thread, sewing mud into the night, through everything unsaid. Glass horizon, don't shatter yet. Glass horizon, I'm not done with it. If the light is waiting on me, I will meet it halfway. Set my hands on the glass horizon and call it mine. Call it mine. Call it mine. There's a storm in the low radio hiss, but the beat stays steady, brave. I feel the old fear try to rise like a wave that wants a grave. But I've built a deeper anchor in the ribs where breath is born. I've built a generator home out of every time I'm mourned. So when the sky turns brittle and streetlights lose their nerve, I will bring my throat like voltage, I will bring my spine like curve. Glass horizon, don't shatter yet. Glass horizon, I'm not done with it. If the light is waiting on me, I will meet it halfway. Set my hands on the glass horizon and call it mine. Call it mine. I walk the edge of a worksite halo, floodlights turning fog to pearl. The cranes are slow ballet dancers, lifting weight into a world I think that's hands are full of grit, and every time I feel the fracture, I don't flinch, I don't quit. Glass horizon, don't shatter yet. Glass horizon, I'm not done with it. If the light is waiting on me, I will meet it halfway. Set my hands on the glass horizon and call it mine. 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 Hands on the glass horizon, and I call it mine. A train cuts through the dark like a thought that won't stay quiet. Steel teeth on the midnight track, no permission, no pilot. Windows black but engine burning, pulling forward like you swore to never ask the night for mercy, to never stop it anymore. I used to wait for rescue, like rescue was the rule. Now I watch the train insist and I learn a different fuel. A train through the dark, teach me how to move. A train through the dark, teach my fear to lose. If the world is out of power, I'll make power out of truth. A train through the dark, I'm coming through. The river holds its breath below, fog stitched into the rails. Street lights blink like tired eyes, and the signal tower fails. Somewhere in the distance, a siren tries to preach, but the train doesn't answer it. The train just keeps its speech. The wheels are saying steady, the wheels are saying now. The wheels are saying build the courage with your own hands. Somehow, a train through the dark, teach me how to move. A train through the dark, teach my fear to lose. If the world is out of power, I'll make power out of truth. A train through the dark, I'm coming through. I've been a passenger in panic, white knuckles, silent prayer, watching life go past the window like I didn't belong there. But tonight I feel the engine in the ribs beneath my coat, a low and stubborn thunder keeping my voice afloat. I don't need a perfect map, I don't need a clean excuse. I need a forward pressure I can talk myself out of. I got sparks in my throat now, I've got smoke in my resolve. I've got a belt of morning, I'm not afraid to evolve. A train through the dark, teach me how to move. A train through the dark, teach my fear to lose. If the world is out of power, I'll make power out of truth. A train through the dark, I'm coming through. The worksite halos fade behind me, floodlights swallowed by the rain, but the track ahead is humming like a promise in my veins. I see a shattered billboard, still trying to glow, like even broken sidings want somewhere to go. I think about your hands on mine back when I couldn't steer, how you didn't fix my weakness, you just stayed close, stayed near. Now I do that for myself, now I hold my sound. It isn't pretty, isn't gentle, but it will not back down. And when the tunnel closes in and the air feels thin and cold, I'll sing louder than the echo, I'll sing bolder than the old. I've been the one who disappears when the screen goes blank, but I'm not leaving in the dark, I'm not slipping through the plank. I'll be the light in my own window, I'll be the bell to break the proof, I'll be the bridge over the dead zone, I'll be the road. A train through the dark, teach me how to move. A train through the dark, teach my fear to lose. If the world is out of power, I'll make power out of truth. A train through the dark, I'm coming through. I'm coming through. I'm coming through. I'm coming through. If the dawn is running late, I won't wait at the platform. I'll be the engine's answer, I'll be the storm. Train through the dark, teach me how to move. A train through the dark, teach my fear to lose. If the world is out of power, I'll make power out of truth. A train through the dark, I'm coming through. I used to carry fear like luggage, wheels locked, handle bent, dragging it through every hallway, paying interest on the rent. Every thought a metal detector, every door a siren sign, every what if in my pocket like a match I couldn't light. Then I found a quieter method in the rubble of my day, a little square of waiting paper that would not blow away. So I fall fear into paper boats, crease by crease I'll make it float. If the river wants to take me, I'll give it something I can let go. I don't have to drown in questions, I don't have to choke on hope. I fall fear into paper boats and I watch them learn the road. The city's still under construction, floodlights peeling off the rain, cranes are slow confessionals, lifting weight like it's a name. A radio coughs a warning and softens into song, like even static has a heart that keeps trying to belong. I stand by the river railing, cold steel on its air, and for once I don't negotiate with the panic living there. I just take a sheet of silence, I just take my shaking hands, I turn the sharpest corners into something that can land. chest forgets its size, when the mirror feels like evidence and my future won't arise. The second boat is for the messages that never make it through, for the sorry stuck in signal lost, for the love that turned to blue. The third boat is for the sirens that used to own my breath. I write their names in pencil, and I don't call it a threat. I call it release, I call it practice, I call it a vow I can keep. Even when the night is hungry, even when the streetlights sleep, I fold fear into paper boats, crease by crease I make it float. If the river wants to take me, I'll give it something I can let go. Doesn't ask for permission, it just proves that forward's real. And I feel that in my body, like a drum under my ribs, like a generator waking in the place my doubt still lies. I used to pray for certainty, like certainty was love. Now I build my own momentum from the scraps I made up. That it can be light and stubborn at the same time in my hand. I fold fear in a paper boat, crease by crease I make it float. If the river wants to take me, I'll give it something I can let go. I don't have to drown in questions, I don't have to choke on hope. I fold fear in a paper boats and I watch them learn the road. They catch the workside halo, they catch the golden fog, they pass the broken billboards like they're reading through the smog. Some boats tip, some boats vanish, some return to shore, but every single one teaches what a river is for. To move what I can't carry, to take what I can't keep, to turn the weight to current and the current into sleep. So if you see me by the water, don't call it running away. I'm building a small religion of staying anyway. I'm sending little paper prayers with no guarantee of land, but watch how brave they look when the wind becomes their hand. I fold fear into paper boats, crease by crease I make it float. If the river wants to take me, I'll give it something I can let go. I don't have to drown in questions, I don't have to choke on hope. I fold fear into paper boats and I watch them learn the One day the sky will open, not as miracle but shift. A seam in all this concrete, a simple change of drift. Until then I keep on folding, I keep on learning slow. A paper boat is not forever, but it's enough to go. I fold fear into paper boats and set them out at dusk. If the night wants to swallow me, It can start with what I try. I felt it a pain. My compass is broken again, spinning like a coin on a table, pointing to every wrong answer, like it's daring me to be unstable. North is a rumor tonight, a ghost direction in the fog. The city keeps changing its edges, like a shoreline learning to move its jaw. I used to trust the straight line, the clean and careful plan. Now the map is all construction, and I'm building where I can. Broken compass, but I'm still moving. Broken compass, but I'm still true. If the needle can't decide for me, I'll decide what I'll do. Broken compass, I'm still moving through. Street signs lean like tide prophets, floodlights turn the rain to chrome. A radio coughs out coordinates, then swallows them, then sends a tone. I follow the low vibration under the asphalt skin, like the city has a heartbeat that refuses to give in. My hands remember steadiness even when my thoughts don't. My lungs remember morning even when the sky broken compass, but I'm still moving. Broken compass, but I'm still true. If the needle can't decide for me, I'll decide what I'll do. Broken compass, I'm still moving through. I try to be the perfect traveler, never lost, never late. But fear is a clever locksmith, and love's a locked-in fate. Tonight I take the wrong exit, on purpose, on my own. I let the uncertainty breathe, I let the silence have a tone. A train goes by behind the river, dark windows, heavy sound. It doesn't know where it's going, but it knows it won't sit down. And I feel that in my ribs, like a drum that won't comply, like a generator starting in the part of me that used to hide. Broken compass, but I'm still moving. Broken compass, but I'm still true. If the needle can't decide for me, I'll decide what I'll do. Broken compass, I'm still moving through. I draw a line in condensation on the inside of the glass, a temporary North Star that won't ask about my past. I mark a corner of the city where the cranes turn slow and bright, where the worksite halo trembles like a candle in a fight. I used to call this failure, this drift and this delay. Now I call it recalibration, now I call it learn the way. The wind is full of metal dust and something sweet beneath, like every broken instrument still wants to make believe. Broken compass, but I'm still moving. Broken compass, but I'm still true. If the needle can't decide for me, I'll decide what I'll do. Broken compass, I'm still moving through. Listen, the static in my pocket. Listen, the pulse under the street. It's not a promise, not a prophecy. It's just a rhythm I can't keep. I don't need certainty to love, I don't need proof to stay. I need a voice that doesn't vanish when the dark rewrites the day. So I sing into the blank direction, I sing into the unknown. I sing until the air remembers I'm not a signal on my own. I'm a body made of choices, I'm a bridge made out of breath. I'm a light that keeps returning, not because it can't forget. Broken compass, but I'm still moving. Broken compass, but I'm still true. If the needle can't decide for me, I'll decide broken again, but my spine is not. My compass is broken again, but I have what I've got. Two hands, one heartbeat, one stubborn little yes. A city under construction and a throat that won't confess. To being small, to being silent, to waiting for permission. I'm done asking for direction from a tool that lost its vision. Broken compass, but I'm still moving. Broken compass, but I'm still true. If the needle can't decide for me, I'll decide what I'll do. Broken compass, I'm still moving through. And if you're out there somewhere with your own needle spinning wild, hold on to the sound of your breathing. Hold on like you're not exiled. We don't need perfect north, we don't need a flawless view. We need one honest step forward and a reason that feels true. So I take the wrong road, singing I take the long way proud. If the map won't bless my courage, I'll bless it out loud. Broken compass, but I'm still moving. Broken compass, but I'm still true. If the needle can't decide for me, I'll decide what I'll do. Broken compass, I'm still moving through. We still glow, even under broken streetlights. We still glow, even when the skyline bites. I saw the city with its ribs exposed, rebar veins in open air. Floodlights washing down the dust like someone finally said a prayer. The cranes were slow as breathing, the sirens far and thin, and I felt something stubborn start rising up again within. I used to think survival was just not falling down, but I've learned it's building music in a place that lost its sound. We still go when the power lines are tired. We still go when the roads are rewired. If the night keeps trying to name us with its cold and heavy tone, we still go. We still glow, we still glow. We still glow like a hymn that won't end. If the world forgets its sweetness, we will teach it what we know. We still glow. We still glow. We still glow like embers in a hot wind. We still glow like a hymn that won't end. If the world forgets its sweetness, we will teach it what we know. We still glow. The radio in the corner store spits static, then a voice. Not shouting, not pretending, just steady like a choice. Expect delays, it whispers. Proceed with care, it sings. And every broken sentence starts sounding like new wings. I walk past windows taped with X's, past signs that lost their shine, and still the puddles catch the light like they're practicing divine. I taste the metal in my breathing, I feel the grit in every vow, but I don't call it ruin now, I call it starting now. We still glow when the power lines are tired. We still glow when the roads are rewired. If the night keeps trying to name us with its cold and heavy tone, we still glow. We still glow, we still glow. Like a hymn that won't end. If the world forgets its sweet take a dawn with scratches if it means I can be seen. I'll take a skyline half in scaffolds. I'll take a street with missing signs. I'll take the honest kind of future built in increments of trials. A train moves through the river fog, dark windows, engine brave. It doesn't ask for better weather, it just refuses to behave. Like it's saying keep your forward, like it's saying don't go numb. And something in my throat replies like thunder learning how to hum. So hear me if you're hiding in your headset. Hear me if your hands forgot their strength. Borrow my volume for a minute, borrow my breath. We still glow when the power lines are tired. We still glow when the roads are rewired. If the night keeps trying to name us with its cold and heavy tone, we still glow. We still glow, we still glow, we still glow like a hymn that won't end. If the world forgets its sweetness, we will teach it what we know. We still glow. We still glow like embers in a hot wind. We still glow like a hymn that won't end. If the world forgets its sweetness, we will teach it what we know. We still glow. Rich, let it breathe. I've been the one who disappears when the screen turns black, but I am done retreating into the old and narrow track. I'm soldering my courage to the bones beneath my skin. I'm learning to be visible in the places I've been in. And if you're shaken too, I'll stand beside your shaking. Two faulty lights together still make a kind of wake. And we still glow, not because it's easy. We still glow because we chose it. We still glow because the dark is not a law, because we won't stop. We still glow when the power lines are tired. We still glow when the roads are rewired. If the night keeps trying to name us with its cold and heavy tone, we still glow. We still glow, we still glow, we still glow like a hymn that won't end. If the world forgets its sweetness, we will teach it what we know. We still glow like embers in a hot wind. We still glow like a hymn that won't end. If the world forgets its sweetness, we will teach it what we know. We still glow in the cracks of the concrete. We still glow in the teeth of defeat. If the dawn is running late, we'll meet it on the road. We still glow. 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 Your footsteps are gone, but city kept the pattern. Like a drum line on wet concrete, like a shadow wearing satin. I walk the same underpass where our laughter used to live. The walls are tagged with new confessions, still they don't forget. A billboard blinks in Morse code, spelling nothing then a glow. And in the blank between it If love is just a frequency, then let it travel through city echoes. Bring me back to you. I hear your name in elevator hum, in the subway's tired squeal, in the static of a corner shop, in the way the streetlights feel. The skylines wearing scaffolds like a crown it didn't choose, and every crane is turning slowly like it's looking for an excuse. I used to chase the loudest meaning, I used to beg for proof. Now I take the smaller signals like a roof, like a room, like truth. City echoes, don't lie to me. City echoes, tell me what you see. If love is just a frequency, then let it travel through city echoes. Bring me back to you. A siren slides across the river, then dissolves into a chord, like the city's learning, singing through a rusted vocal cord. I stop beneath the workside halo, floodlights turning fog to pearl, and in the shimmer of that brightness, I can almost see a world where we don't have to be perfect, where we don't have to be brave, where we can just be present without trying to be saved. But I'm not asking for a redo, I'm not bargaining with time, I'm only asking for the courage to let your memory rhyme. City echo, don't lie to me. City echo, tell me what you see. If love is just a frequency, then let it travel through city echoes. Bring me back to you. I've been the one who shuts the door when the hallway starts to shout, but now I leave it slightly open, let the sound come in and out. I let the night be unfinished, I let the street be what it is, I let the air keep its old stories like a pocket full of fizz. A train passes like a verdict, then becomes a distant warmth, and I remember how we held on through every change in form. Maybe love is not a lighthouse, maybe love is not a flame, maybe love is a small echo that keeps returning with my name. City echo, don't lie to me. City echo, tell me what you see. If love is just a frequency, then let it travel through city echo. Bring me back to you. Final lift, open it. City echoes carry what I said. City echo, turn my feet to thread. and the wires. City echo in the rain on tired tires. If the dawn is running late, we'll meet it where the streets renew. City echo, bring me back to you. Bring me back to you. Bring me back to you. City echo, bring me back to you. Woke up to a boot-up chime somewhere under my ribs. A soft blue pulse in the dark, like the first time courage lives. The city outside is restarting, streetlights blinking one by one. Floodlights on the workside halo, washing silver into dawn. I used to call it breaking when my hands forgot their grip. Now I call it system update. Now I let the shaking slip. Heart reboot, I'm coming back online. Heart reboot, I'm drawing my own line. If the night keeps pulling power, I will make my throat the sign. Heart reboot, I'm coming back online. A loading bar of morning creeps across the window glass. I watch it like a promise that doesn't ask about my past. My compass still spins sometimes, my signal still drops out. But I've got a deeper frequency than all my old self-doubt. I've been in safe mode silence, I've been in blackout days, but I'm done mistaking quiet for a cage I have to stay. Heart reboot, I'm coming back online. Heart reboot, I'm drawing my own line. If the night keeps pulling power, I will make my throat the sign. Heart reboot, I'm coming back online. The river keeps reflecting, broken neon stitched with rain. A train moves through the fog again like it's carrying my name. I feel the engine in my breathing, steady thunder low and true. Not a miracle descending, just a thing that follows through. I used to wait for perfect, for the clean official start. Now I start in the unfinished, now I start inside the dark. Heart reboot, I'm coming back online. Heart reboot, I'm drawing my own line. If the night keeps pulling power, I will make my throat the sign. Heart reboot, I'm coming back online. Listen, the click before the current. Listen, the hum under the fear. That's not chaos, that's a comeback. That's the sound of I'm still here. I sold a my torn choices into something I can wear. I tighten every bolt of morning with my own two hands right here. I don't need a flawless map, I don't need the world to bless. I need one honest step forward and a yes I can confess. Heart reboot, I'm coming back online. Heart reboot, I'm drawing my own line. If the night keeps pulling power, I will make my throat the sign. Heart reboot, I'm coming back online. Halftime, let it breathe. I remember the old panic, how it used to run the room. How my thoughts became a siren, how my lungs forgot their bloom. Now I sit inside the silence, not as ask punishment but space. I let the fear speak its sentence. Tonight I don't accept the case. I say not guilty to the story that I'm small. I say not guilty to the habit of the fall. Then the drums come back like daylight. Then the bass becomes my spine, and the chorus hits the ceiling like a city switching signs. Heart reboot, I'm coming back online. I'm draw reboot, I'm drawing my own line. If the night keeps pulling power, I will make my throat the sign. Heart reboot, I'm coming back online. Heart reboot, I won't disappear. Heart reboot, I'm louder than the fear. If the towers keep collapsing, I will build a way to hear. Heart reboot, I'm louder than the Skyline still in scaffolds, the streets still learn their names, but I've got voltage in my voice now. I've got spark that doesn't shame. I've got love in my persistence. I've got truth in how I stay. Not a signal asking permission, just a body on its way. Heart reboot, I'm coming back online. Heart reboot, I'm drawing my own line. If the night keeps pulling power, I will make my throat the sign. Heart reboot, I'm coming back online. I'm coming back online. Heart reboot, I'm coming back online. When the sirens finally tire, when the floodlights lose their glare, there's a hush in the rubble, like the city's learning prayer. No headlines left to chase us, no alarms left to prove, just breathing broken concrete and a slow, stubborn move. I used to fear the aftermath, the silence after sound, but silence is a scaffold and I can build from ground. Choir after the air, sing me into day. Choir after the air, teach my hands to stay. If the night keeps trying to hold us with its cold and heavy band, choir after the air, we rise again. We rise again. I hear it in the ductwork, in the wires, in the rain. but I am done retreating into the old and narrow form. So if you're standing in the wreckage with your hands full of doubt, let my voice be your ladder, let my breath pull you out. Choir after the end, sing me in today. Choir after the end, teach my hands to stay. If the night keeps trying on us with its cold and heavy band, choir after the end, we rise again. Halftime, let it bloom. I remember the old fear, how it loved the locked-in story, how it made the exit near. Now I open every window, now I let the air come in, not to be forgiven by the past, but to begin. I'm soldering my courage to the bones beneath my skin. I'm learning to be visible in the places I've been in. And if you're shaking too, I'll stand beside your shaking. Two battered voices together still make a kind of waking. Choir after the end, sing me in today. Choir after the end, teach my hands to stay. If the night keeps trying on us with its cold and heavy bed, choir after the end, we rise again. Final lip, open it wide. Choir after the end, we are not the dark's decree. Choir after the end, we are more than what we see. If the world keeps losing signal, we will still send something true. Choir after the end, I'll sing and you will too. Choir after the end, in the cracks of concrete skin. Choir after the end, where the new streets begin. If the dawn is running late, we'll meet it with our oxygen. Choir after the end, we rise again. We rise again. We rise again. Choir after the end. Choir after the end. We rise again. I found the phrase on a scorched wall, half prayer, half graffiti. Open the light like the city wrote it first and dared me to repeat it. So I did, with shaking hands, with lungs full of dust. I did it without permission, I did it because I must. The skyline still in scaffolds, the streets still learn their names, but I got voltage in my voice now, and I don't feel safe. Open the light, build again. Open the light, build again. If the night keeps closing in, I'll open it, I'll open it. Open the light, build again. Open the light, build again. I don't wait for perfect like you meant that failed before. Now I call it continuing, like a hand on a door. A train cuts through the river fog, dark windows, engine brave. It doesn't ask the dawn for mercy, it just refuses to cave. And I take that as my anthem, I take that as my spine. If the world is still rebuilding, and so is this heart of mine. Open the light, build again. Open the light, build again. If the night keeps closing in, I'll open it, I'll open it. Open the light, build again. Open the light, build again. I don't wait for perfect weather, I don't wait, I don't wait. I don't wait. The radio says expect delays, like it's reading out my fear. But I've got a louder frequency than the old voice in my ear. I've got a map made out of breath, I've got a compass made of choice. I've got a home inside my chest now, and a hammer in my voice. I'm done being a ghost in hallways, done being small on screens. I'm done treating my own heartbeat like an error in a machine. Open the light, build again. Open the light, build again. If the night keeps closing in, I'll open it, I'll open it. Open the light, build again. Open the light, build again. I don't wait for perfect weather, I don't wait, I don't wait. Have time, let it break open. I remember the old panic, how we loved the locked-in room, how we turned my thoughts to sirens, how it stole my lungs' perfume. Now I sit with the silence, not as punishment but space. I let the fear speak its sentence, and I don't accept the case. I say not guilty to the story that I'm weak. I say not guilty, and my voice becomes my peak. Then the drums come back like daylight, then the bass becomes my spine, and the chorus hits the ceiling like a city switching sides. Open the light, build again. Open the light, build again. If the night keeps closing in, I'll open it, I'll open it. Open the light, build again. Open the light, build again. I don't wait for perfect weather, I don't wait, I don't open it. Where your power lines are tired, open the light. When the roads are rewired, if the world keeps losing signal, I will still send something true. Open the light, build again. I'll sing and you will too. Open the light, build again. In the cracks is concrete skin. Open the light, ooh, and the new streets begin. If the dawn is running late, we'll meet it on the road. Open the light, build again. I'll sing and you will too. Open the light, build again. I found the phrase on a scorched wall, and I made it mine. Not as magic, not as a miracle, as a plan I can light. Open the light, build again.